Hello. Today we're going to be doing a speed build. I'm going to have this speed build going on in the background, but I also really want to talk about the SOSA, which is a travel company that I recently traveled with. I'm building in Sulani, and I'm going to build a beach house in the shape of a hammerhead shark. The trip I went on was a shark diving trip primarily, so you could consider this episode 1 of I went shark diving and now it's my entire personality. I do have one other build planned on this theme, but it'll be something different. And then I'll probably move on when it comes to my Sims builds. So the SOSA is a travel company that is focused on wildlife conservation and really getting you involved in wildlife projects or supporting them. So on the trips, you might go on excursions that really support good causes, good organizations that are doing wonderful work all around the world. So the trip I went on was to Florida. This trip involved manatee snorkeling. We did an airboat tour through some wetlands. We did shark diving 3 days. We visited a sea turtle rehabilitation center. We also visited a local sanctuary that has a lot of native Florida wildlife. And then we also did a kayaking trip on the river. A little more about the company. I would definitely recommend traveling with them. Last year, I went to the Galapagos, and it wasn't through the SOSA, but it was still with the founder, who is Blake Moynes. You might know him from his conservation work, you might know him from The Bachelorette, or you might know him from his notable appearance on a Shark Week special this year.
Control. Measurements have been done.
Whatever the case, he is doing great work with wildlife conservation through this company and through working with a lot of organizations, like I said, around the world. So in the Galapagos, it was actually a Trova trip, which you may have heard of, kind of like a local trip with like a celebrity kind of host. A lot of like travel influencers will do those kind of things. A lot of reality TV stars lead those kinds of trips. This was my first actual SOSA trip, and I just had a really great experience, so I wanted to share it with you guys. Went to Florida, started in Tampa, we did the manatee snorkeling, and then we worked our way over to the east coast of Florida in Jupiter. There were only 6 of us, which was really nice. We all got along so well. I had an amazing group, and I really liked everyone in the group, so it was really easy to live together and travel together. We stayed at an Airbnb, so there were a few people who had their own rooms and then a few people who shared rooms. You may have some say in like paying extra for your own room, or it may be all your own rooms. It really depends on the trip. Each trip they host is going to be a little different in what's covered. On this one, all our meals were covered except for like one last, goodbye meal. Seems like price-wise, they are just really great. If you look at the places they go and you look at what these things would cost if you did everything by yourself, it really isn't that different. And you also get someone planning everything for you, which for me is a big thing because I love to travel. I don't like planning the trip. It's kind of fun to like look at things, but then sometimes I'll get really stuck. Like, I don't know which hotel to choose. They're all the same. Like it's hard to choose those things. So it's nice to have all of that taken care of, all the travel between places taken care of, transportation, just everything is already laid out. I really appreciate all the work they did in organizing this trip for sure. We also got some fun merch. Again, I can't guarantee that like on every trip everyone will get this stuff. I don't know. Probably just depends on the price and where you're going. But we did get these lovely SOSA shirts. It does have SOSA on the back as well. We also got hats. Everyone got a different one, but they do sell these on their website, so if you're interested in something like that, they have different animals. Mine's a great white shark. So I just really appreciated like the thoughtfulness and the things we got on this trip as well. We also got follow bracelets. So you've probably heard of Follow. I feel like I see their ads a lot, but maybe that's just because I follow a bunch of conservation Instagram pages. But basically the Follow idea is you get some kind of item like a bracelet or a stuffed animal, and then you get to track an animal in the wild. So I'm tracking a hammerhead shark named Blanche. I like to see where she's going. I've always known that I would like something like this, but I never actually got one for myself. They make really good gifts too. I got stuffed animals for my niece and nephew, and they love them. Plus, who doesn't want to like track a wild animal, especially if you get someone their favorite animal? There's a lot of different ones. It's not just sharks. There's snow leopards, elephants, lions, I think, manatees, sloths, like there's so many. So I would definitely recommend that for gifts especially. We did shark diving through Tanner Underwater. That is the tour company we went with. Tanner is the person who runs that. and he's located in Jupiter, Florida. We'd had a great time. Honestly, the trips were wonderful. We all felt very safe and like we knew, what we needed to know ahead of time. They did a good job of telling us what we needed to know, what to look out for. And then our package also included photos. So we all got really great photos of us diving with sharks, which was so cool. Yeah, the first day, me and another girl did get very seasick, unfortunately. We were with the sharks for a little bit and then we both had to come out and, paint the side of the boat lovely color. So the first day we saw the most sharks we saw. At one point there were 20. I think I was out of the water by then, getting sick on the boat, but there were like 20 sharks around us. There were bull sharks, sandbar sharks, and silkies. They swim around you. Sometimes they come kind of close and then they just kind of go away. Like they don't really want that much to do with us. It was really cool to see that in action, because if you don't see the way they swim up to people and then they're like, no thanks, like they don't really want to see us that much. They're not really that interested even, but it's done in a very safe way. It's done in a very knowledgeable way. The people on the boat, the people with Tanner Underwater, clearly have been working with sharks for a long time and really know what they're doing. On our last day, we were blessed with a hammerhead shark. Very briefly, it literally just came, swam by, and just went away. It's like, you know what? Too much work for this food, too much competition. I'm gonna get out of here. I didn't think I was gonna see a hammerhead shark, but that was amazing to see because they're just so unique, It's just cool to see something that's like so different from the other sharks and just so weird looking. So even though we only saw one, that's what inspired this build. And I'm making this very like gray and modern and sleek. I feel like I have to keep it kind of gray to go with sharks. A big movement in conservation medicine right now is really pushing ecotourism and just showing people that instead of building something on a site where a bunch of animals live, you can make money by having people come and see them. And I think that's so important, because if you don't see these animals, you're not really going to care that much about protecting them. Like, honestly, I've known for a long time that sharks are extremely important for not just the ocean, but really the world, the ecosystems. They're apex predators. They really drive the populations of other fishes in the sea. That kind of thing affects the food available to people all over the world. And then, everything's interconnected. That's really, if you take nothing else away from this video, please take that. Everything is interconnected. If we get rid of one species, it's gonna have a domino effect on a lot of other things. And it does affect people. Even though I think, just protecting the animals should be enough for people to want to protect them. It affects what is available for people who rely on wild populations of animals for food. It affects like natural disasters. There's so much to it, but anyways, we'll get back to sharks, I guess. But what I was saying is just that ecotourism is so big right now because it's really just showing that nature is profitable if you leave it alone and if you protect it. Animals are so cool. There's so many cool species, and I think that people should be able to see them, and if we can do that in a safe, controlled way, then I think it's wonderful if we can go see them. Obviously, I don't want people to do things that are unethical or negatively affect the populations in the wild, but that's why I liked this trip. That's why I liked the Galapagos. It's really seeing animals in a very protected way where we're really not putting them at risk at all. So this trip is going on next year. They did 3 this year. This year they also did a trip to Botswana, South Africa, and Alaska. All of those trips also very wildlife focused. The Alaska trip was seeing a lot of brown bears, which looked amazing. Just camping, maybe not so much my thing. But they do have a wide variety of trips based on what you're really looking for and how much you want to spend. Like the African safaris are more expensive, but those are more expensive. That's not them jacking up the price, that's just what they cost. So yeah, if you are interested in wildlife, if you're interested in travel, I would definitely recommend them for your travel needs. And also they have some cool merch. And if you just follow them on Instagram, you also will see a lot of other organizations that they're involved with. I started following a ton of different conservation organizations just from following them that they would like collab with or repost their things. So there's my spiel on the SOSA, highly recommend. And now I'll kind of talk about this build a little more. In the front where I have like the hammerhead head, I put 2 curved walls on each side, and then it left this weird little open space in the ceiling. I wish I could tell you how I fixed it. I really don't know. Just kind of undid and redid what I was doing in a different order to see if I could get it to go away. It finally did. Maybe someday I'll look into that a little more and figure out how to do a room like this without having that issue. But I felt like the outside just looked too solid gray, so I used a lot of the glass walls. I put them in kind of random places and just kind of followed my heart on where to put them. I didn't really have that much thought into it. I'm going with black and white mostly, and then in the living room I've added a bit of green. And I actually really love the way this house turned out. I never do modern like this. This is the most minimalist house I've ever made, and you may look at it and say, that's not minimalist. There's furniture everywhere. There's pictures everywhere. But for me, this is minimalist because normally I'm like, pack everything in, get as much furniture as you can in there, knickknacks, but this wasn't a knickknack house. This is a clean, simple house. I mean, I feel like with a beach house, you have to have some kind of floor that's like really easy to clean because you're going to be dragging sand and salt water inside. It's definitely not very big, and because of the weird shape, I couldn't really figure out a way to add like many rooms. I just made this a house for like 1 or 2 adults. So 1 master bedroom, no kids in the shark house. That would be ridiculous. But I think the outline turned out pretty good. I'm happy with the shape. It did make it a little difficult. I've never really made a small trapezoid bathroom before, but I managed. Having a free shower head is really nice for building bathrooms. So there's one in Snowy Escape, but it has like a little mirror on it that kind of ruins it for me and makes it look like a locker room shower, which it is. It's for like the bathhouse or spa, that kind of thing. There's one in University, I believe. There's one in Lovestruck, and then there's one in the Sleek bathroom kit. If you don't have any of those and you want a shower head that you can put anywhere, the Sleek bathroom kit is going to be the cheapest way to get that. I feel like for flexibility in bathroom design, having one of those is amazing. Well, ASMR? No, that probably sounded terrible. I'm keeping all the interior walls just this gray. I think it would just be way too much going on if I started adding a lot of color in here and made it kind of crazy. Now this is going to be the weirdest shaped bedroom I've ever made. I thought about making the Finn's little closet, but they're not really big enough to like even open a door into, so I decided to just leave it open. It's such a weird shape that if we start adding other walls in here, I think it's going to look way too small and closed off. There's not a lot of storage in this house, so these people have to be very minimalist, just the essentials. There is basically nowhere to put anything. So I put curtains on one side of the wall, and throughout the house I've used the same modern luxe curtains. I just feel like it makes sense for these floor to ceiling windows that I have, or these glass walls, and it keeps it really modern, and I love having the wooden thing that goes across the whole window. So in the living room I used a little bit of green. In here I'm using a little bit of pink. Small touch of color, but still keeping it mostly white, black, gray, you know, a little bit of greenery here and there. Most of the cupboards and wardrobes are so deep that it makes it really hard to place in small rooms, but this one is much smaller than most of them, so fits really nicely. We do have now the waterfall in here. This is a pretty luxurious bedroom. I think I want to live in a house shaped like a hammerhead shark now. I really love this house. Businesses and hobbies is another one that works really well for like minimalist and modern kind of builds. Using the clothes from the Dream Home Decorator kit, they like stick out too far on the rack, which is really annoying. And I hate that what I have facing out is like a coat, because this is obviously an environment where you're not going to need that. But it was the only clothing hanging that I have that was short enough to fit on that side of the rack. I feel like I keep making these like really fancy, beautiful vanity areas for getting ready, and I love to put like the necklaces out on it and put nice artwork around it. Maybe that's something that I subconsciously want, because I find myself doing that a lot, and it's not something that I really think about wanting. It's just like, oh yeah, it's The Sims. I have to make a pretty getting ready area. Fancy bathroom is something I desperately want. I need a nice bathroom. I live in an apartment with a very stupid bathroom. That's a sink and a toilet, shower, toilet, sink, but both bathrooms are connected by the shower, which has sliding glass doors on both sides. It's so dumb, because then if someone's using one bathroom, you can use the other one, but you really don't want to. So what's the point in having two if they're not closed off to each other? And then there's twice as much glass to clean, which is so annoying. Stuff gets in like all those little crevices on the sliding glass doors. I'm ready to move. Overall, it's a pretty nice apartment, but the bathroom is ridiculous. One day I should just do like a Sims bathroom showcase and just do a bunch of bathrooms in like different styles, different colors, live out my bathroom dreams. Actually, I have thought that would be kind of fun to do, almost like a, I don't know what you would call it, like a design house, like a, what do you call those? The model homes. That's what I was looking for. Like a model home, but it would be like a bathroom showcase, and we just have like all the different bathrooms that you could purchase or build in your house, you know? We could do it with living rooms and kitchens and bedrooms. I decided to remove one of the fins from being part of the house, and instead I made it like part of the patio out here. So we have a little covered area without affecting our hammerhead outline. Look at that, beautiful. Now I just need to dress up the outside a little bit with some landscaping. I've given us a couple jet skis too, because if I had this house, I would 100% have jet skis. Like, I would rather have a jet ski than an actual boat. They're so fun. That's my dream. I need a fancy bathroom and a jet ski. The rest does not matter. Jungle Adventure is really handy for plants that can go on the walls, because they do have a few options. And then I've just added a lot of these like low-lying flowers around. I added some of the wooden salat wall decorations to this side of the hammerhead shark's head. It just felt a little too boring, but I couldn't add more glass because I've already decorated the inside how I wanted it. But I think those look pretty good. And just adding some palm trees. So that's our hammerhead shark house. I absolutely love this. I would live here, 10 out of 10. Actually, that's a lie, because if I had this house, it wouldn't be minimalist anymore. I would fill it with crap, and it would quickly lose its charm. So that's the build for today. If you're interested in SOSA trips, you can go to thesosa.com or follow them on Instagram. I don't like work for them or anything, just really had a great trip and wanted to talk about it because I also feel really strongly about like ecotourism and responsible tourism, but also highlighting wildlife. Like, these are my perfect trips. So if other people are interested in stuff like that, I have a good recommendation. If you have questions about it, you're welcome to ask me too. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the build. I think I have one other potential idea kind of inspired by this trip, but it's also something I've been thinking about building for a while too. But yeah, there's our hammerhead shark house. Feel free to let me know too if, when watching these videos, if you prefer a video where we're building kind of together and we talk about like each item that's being placed and a more slow build, or if you enjoy these true speed builds where like I've built this ahead of time, I've sped it up, and then I'm just talking over it. These are much easier to make and a lot quicker to make, but I enjoy watching the slower videos more, so I want to do what people want to watch, so let me know. Yeah, there's my mermaid in the water. Oh, that's kind of creepy. Do you see? There's this guy who's just like silhouetted by the waterfall. It looks like he just emerged from the waterfall and is watching us. Or maybe we do need curtains in our bathroom with the open window. Why does that look so creepy? In build mode, people aren't moving, so it looks so creepy, like he's just standing there watching us. I need a mermaid to go in this house, but I don't think I'm actually gonna play in this house, but I will upload it to the gallery. Well, that was our hammerhead shark house. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!